too consumed with our own self-centered lifestyles. Being a TI and isolated for so long, just sitting on the fence in neutral mode has allowed me to see so many different things that a normal person living out their busy lifestyle in the rat race would miss and not even batter an eyelid at. They'll just won't even notice it. I mean, I'm talking about certain things, how the world is being run. I'm talking about how people live their lives. Just removing yourself from the rat race and putting yourself on that sideline and just watching life as if it's a movie. Subtracting yourself from the main current and observing it from an external point of view, you really get a deeper insight of how the world is actually being run. And these power plays, these power structures, they're doing everything in their power to hold on to this system of living. They don't want to lose their grip. They don't want to lose their clutch on their power over everyone. But ultimately, even they will ascend, and their DNA will raise in vibratory frequency, which will alter their own consciousness. And I'm pretty sure it's happened, and it's still happening. But these people get taken out in the night. Don't really see them again. Don't ever hear of them again. So I've jumped around topic to topic. There's no real structure in what I'm saying, but I've got so much to say in such a short amount of time because, the videos that I can upload are only capable of uploading 15-minute videos at a time. And I'm pretty sure people lose interest after 30 seconds of watching a video if nothing's striking to them, which is very sad because a person only has 30 seconds to get someone's attention. Otherwise, they've lost that person's attention. That's how dulled down humanity's become. And even if you just display any attributes of a person with an elevated vibratory frequency, they're going to come after you. They're going to do everything in their willpower to bring your vibratory frequency down. And this is where directed energy weapons come into it. Directed energy weapons is damaging our DNA, damages our genetic structure. It also damages our pineal gland, or pineal gland, as some people refer to it, which is your third eye, your ajna, which is one of your chakra points. And by raising your frequency, your vibratory frequency, you're opening up your third eye chakra, depending on what chakra you've worked on. And by doing so, this is how you're able to communicate with those beings vibrating on a much higher vibratory frequency, which is what we refer to as angels. Many people have been able to converse with angels. And when I say converse and interact, it's not an interaction or a conversation that a person would have with another person. It's completely different. And the best way that I can explain it is you don't see them with these eyes. You feel them, and by feeling them, you see them, which is a different kind of seeing. It's a less detailed seeing. You don't see them, and you cannot describe their appearance as you would be able to describe someone's appearance if you were viewing them from these eyes. Which, it's always referred to in the Bible as if a man's eye be single. I can't remember that verse, but there's always reference to a single eye. A lot of people also are attacking Freemasonry or secret societies. Remember, people, it's not the knowledge that is bad. Okay? It's whose hands it's in that makes it good or bad. It's like a firearm. Pretty much. A a firearm in a toddler's hand can be really, really dangerous because that child doesn't know the full capacity of what they're holding in their hand. But in a mature adult and a well-trained person using firearms, it's much safer having that firearm in their hands as opposed to it being in a toddler's hand. And it's the same thing with these societies that are so, how can I put this, secretive about this esoteric, sacred knowledge that should be available for everyone. And you shouldn't have to jump through hoops and specific levels and rituals to enable yourself to have access to this knowledge. Because this knowledge is something that's within us, which is what Gnosticism refers to, and theosis, knowledge of the self. You know, if there is many people out there, if there are many people out there, I should say, that are able to guide people through this transitional period, I mean, you guys will be doing miracle works. But I don't know why there's not many people doing it. Are they afraid? Are they afraid of the powers that be? They'll come after you. I mean, I've been battered, tortured, left, right, and center being a targeted individual. And yes, I do have fears like everybody else, but my fears don't take hold of me. I know I'm in the flesh. And if you cut the flesh, it would hurt. I understand that. And I am fearful of being cut, metaphorically speaking. Because that's this instinct to protect this vessel that's encapsulating your light body. So, I do understand this is why we are targeted. This is why we are drugged, to restrict, to limit our capabilities, to dull down our pineal gland. That's why we're sprayed with heavy metals in our air through chemtrails. This is why our water supply is full of fluoride and all other nasty stuff, to disable our pineal gland. You know, human beings can photosynthesize just like plants. But we're told to keep out of the sun because it's not good for our skin. It's not good for us. It'll dehydrate us. You'll get melanoma. You'll get cancer. That's not true. Many of the ancient civilizations understood the importance of the sun. And even a child in preschool or kindergarten is taught the cycle of the sun and how it makes things grow on our planet through light. And without that sunlight, nothing would exist. So I'm only talking things that a toddler would understand. So it's not a wow factor. Everything we want to know is internal. You know, it's said many times before that what makes up this universe and all those elements on the periodic table are in part of us. You know, what stars are made out of, we're made out of the same substances. So what is that saying? We're all connected through this energy grid. But when you lower yourself in frequency, you disconnect from this energy grid, and you're capable of doing horrible things to each other. You're capable of doing horrible things to the planet and other living beings we share this planet with. This is why the perpetrators are able to do what they're able to do. This is why they carry out what they do to one person, and they don't have any feelings or conscious regrets. You know, they got no conscience. It just doesn't bother them. They actually enjoy it because they've disconnected from this grid. this natural energy grid that a lot of indigenous cultures were aware of. Their articulation towards this energy grid and this great self may have been very, very simple, but nevertheless, they still understood it on a much deeper scale than what we do in our modern day and age. You know, a lot of people will watch a video on spirituality or chakras and do a bit of yoga and juice their fruit and say and namaste and all this sorts of stuff. But this is just a new age gimmick. They're living it externally rather than internally. And I myself was one of these people. But as I'm progressing through my age and progressing through my consciousness levels of raising my vibratory frequency, I'm learning a lot more. I'm learning how to balance myself. I'm learning how to channel my thoughts, which in turn affect the energy within my body, which affects the energy from chakra to chakra and all the way up to your crown. Now, it's very, very hard to maintain that level of vibratory frequency from the heart chakra upwards. Now, a lot of people have difficulties from the Manipura, the solar plexus chakra, and up. But once you overcome that chakra, the difficulties associated with the self, with knowing thyself, with your self-identity, you're now up higher, channeling the energy to the higher three chakras, which is a remarkable